Silence, please. Roll call.
Council President Sturts.
Here.
Councilor Coast.
Here.
Councilor Shamp.
Here.
Councilor Chamberlain.
Present.
Councilor Sturts.
Here.
Councilor Fry.
Here.
All members are present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. We have approval of the prior meeting's minutes.
I would approve the prior meeting minutes that were emailed to me.
Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Chamberlain and second by Councilor Coast. Councilor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Councilor Coast.
Yes.
Council President Sturts.
Yes.
Councilor Shamp.
Yes.
Councilor Sturts.
Yes.
Councilor Fry.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
I don't think we have anybody out there that wanted to come in on this day off or wishing to speak to council, so we are going to move to committee reports. And the first one we have up is personnel.
The Personnel Committee met to discuss the recommendation of hiring interns through Defiance County Ready Internship Grant Program, which comes through Defiance College in their criminal justice department. Defiance College does require 150 hours for internship for their criminal justice majors. We've had several interns through the college before. This is a little different because of this grant that is going to pay for the internships. Chief Torbett recommended that we start any interns that we have here through the college with 30 hours of unpaid internship, and then the college grant would pay the other hours as they progress. So we discussed that as a personnel committee and agreed that we thought that would be a good idea. We've had internships here before. I think it's kind of beneficial as a college student that they get paid for their internship. It also gives the chief and the police department an opportunity to get to know some of these people that are going to be in the criminal justice world eventually. So we made a recommendation that we go ahead and we hire the interns through this grant opportunity.
We need a motion to accept the personnel recommendation.
Mayor, just one correction before you make the recommendation. That's the
Yes.
Defiance College, not
Oh,
county.
okay.
College, not county, but the internship program.
Thank you, Chief. Yes, it's
Whatever happened to internships back in the day when I was in college? It was just you pay your dues, it's free labor, basically. Is that not the case anymore? Or?
They still do, Shane.
Okay.
This is actually the first one that we've had where the college is offering money to put the person through.
Okay.
Now, they do this sometimes with other businesses.
Yeah.
Will pay part of the internship, but normally, this is the first time that we've ever had the opportunity to even offer the intern anything for their work and service.
Do you see just Defiance College moving forward with this program and grant, or do you see
Right.
other programs coming forward with
Right now, they're the only ones that have even approached us on it, so I don't know if any other colleges are doing this, or if it's just a program through Defiance College exclusively.
and the placements are going out to other divisions of police officers, or police,
I believe so, then.
okay, not just us.
Well, it's their Defiance interns. so
Right, going out to other
Wherever
cities.
they go or try to apply.
Sheriff's departments and things like that.
I'd make a motion that we accept the personnel recommendation.
I'll second it.
Motion moved by Councilor Chamberlain and second by Councilor Shamp. Is there any discussion? Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Shamp?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Councilor Sturts?
Yes.
Councilor Fry.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you, Council. I'm excited to see how that's going to pan out. Okay, let's move on to Finance Committee.
All right, the Finance Committee met on February 5th. We had 2 items to discuss, the first of which had to do with the assessments on Glenwood Street. There had been a Finance Committee meeting back in November of 2014 with the current property owners to discuss the assessments and different provisions as they existed today. It became known that there is the possibility by law that the assessment period could be extended an additional 8 years from the, it was originally designed for 20 years to come due in 2025, and it could be extended. So no conclusion had been reached from that previous Finance Committee meeting, so we were asked to meet and review what had been discussed and come up with a recommendation, or at least no recommendation. And our committee actually felt that at this point in time, there's still 9 years left in the original 20. And we didn't have any reason at this time to make an extension. But we would like to see this revisited in 5 years, which would take us out to the beginning of 2021. And then have finance take a look at it that, because at that point in time, it will be within 4 years of the original 20. And we'll have a much better idea of what land has been developed, what land is still undeveloped and might need any assistance as far as extending it. So we opted to do nothing at this point in time, actually. That is the Finance Department answer on that. The other item that we discussed had to do with the fire protection contracts that the city of Wauseon has with the surrounding townships that we provide fire protection to. A lot of the contracts are over 20 years old, and the amounts being charged are well over 20 years old. So Chief Sluter has come up with a lot of financial information and allocated it accordingly, so that we could take a look at it and see if he's on the right track as far as coming up with an adequate cost that should be shared by the township. Now, there was so much information that we took it home with us, and we are going to then reconvene with Chief Sluter with our ideas and go forward with that. But ultimately, what we'd like to do is come up with equitable dollar amounts that the city could charge the townships that we provide fire protection for going forward. So we have no recommendation there, but our recommendation on the assessments was to do nothing at this time.
Okay. I guess I have a question before I would ask for you to move forward on the recommendation. Is that 5 years? One of the questions in the minutes here, I think one of the councilors asked is, you were concerned about change. What if the council would change whatever recommendation if you made it now? And then councils later in the years would change it. But if you wait 5 years, there's quite, maybe possible that, quite a few of this council wouldn't even be in place to make those changes. So if you wait 5 years and then you go and revisit it, this may not even come to form to be revisited in 5 years. If there's different.
Well, it won't be us, but someone can.
So if you state that you would like to revisit it, but right now you're not even going to. So your recommendation is more or less to revisit in 5 years, 2020, revisit to look at in 5 years.
5 years would be like January 2021.
Just to look at it and see.
If there's any desire to, maybe there's no reason to. Right now, there's no reason to extend it. We don't know what it'll be in 20 years, but we don't want to just forget about it.
Right. Instead of possibly 3 years, 4 years, just the 5 years. Okay. So, recommendation is on the table for council for 2020.
And 5 years would actually be 21 from now. 16.
Oh, January 2020 was what is on finance committee.
I didn't
Right,
count
it's everywhere.
Right.
It's 20.
21. Amend that.
So right now, the agreement, the assessments would come due how many years from now, John?
2025.
Mhm.
And then they have 5 years to pay them even after they come due currently. So there is no rush.
And what the issue is, extending that due date to start that 5-year clock for payments.
Yes.
I have no problem accepting the recommendation to revisit the Glenwood assessment due dates in January of 2021. I have no problem with that.
I'll second.
Motion moved by Counselor Chamberlain and second by Counselor Coast. Is there any discussion? Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Okay, thank you, Council. Park Board.
We met on February 9th in the morning, and the first, Larry Zimmerman was the new park board member who replaced Bill Drummer. Dave had a quote to install new double doors and a new green tin to the Potawatomi shelter house. The materials will be $2,500 for that, and then the city workers would actually do the work, so it saves some money there. Rotary remodeled the restrooms down at Reard Park. They installed new sinks, faucets, LED lights, and repainted the restrooms. And then Dave budgeted for a gazebo for Biddle Park for the summer. They're not quite sure where they want to put it yet, so that's undetermined. And they also budgeted for a blacktop for 25,000 square feet in the parking lot, which they haven't decided exactly where that's going either. At the time, there was no update from the pool committee. I think he was going to meet later that day with them, so I don't know what happened. But the Public Works demoed the inside of the pool house. They took all the concrete out. And I went and looked at it. I thought they did a nice job. I mean, probably saved a lot of money doing that. So, and the other thing, they were going to reseal the bike trail and the trails at Homecoming Park this summer. And that's about it. So.
That's it? Let's see, the pavilion at Homecoming Park, is that going to be similar to the same one that's on
Yeah, I
the
think identical.
north side?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be
Yeah.
nice.
He caught a gazebo.
Yeah.
An open shelter house.
Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, great. No action on that. Okay, thank you. Street Committee.
Street Committee, myself, Scott, and Rick, we just met a few minutes ago in reference to Sullivan's request for additional handicap parking. We had met a couple weeks ago, talked about targeting our consideration on the intersection of Elm and Fulton on the southwest corner. We asked Dennis to take a look at whether or not that could accommodate the ADA requirements. We received word back that it does not. There's not enough room there to provide for handicap parking. Council members or committee members felt that was about the best place to look to provide an additional parking spot, and we couldn't come up with any other city-owned property that might provide space for a handicap parking spot. So there will be no action coming from the street committee.
Okay.
But, you know, Dennis brought to our attention, and maybe we can let Sullivan's know that during the revitalization engineering, that maybe we can direct our engineers to be vigilant when considering ADA and handicap parking spots around the entire downtown district. So, I think we've been told that we have more than what is set forth as far as handicap parking spots as it is right now, right, Dennis?
Correct.
Okay. And no action out of street committee.
Thank you. Alrighty. And EMS Executive Board, John?
Yes, the EMS Executive Board is a new board this year. It came about due to the new EMS agreement that was negotiated between the county commissioners and the various entities such as the city of Wauseon. As the representative to that board, we have met twice already. In January, our first meeting, we elected officers and distributed information about potential bylaws, and we then came back and met in February and went over those potential bylaws and came up with shared ideas as to what may or may not work for our bylaws once we adopt them. Now, our next meeting is a statutory meeting. It's actually outlined in the EMS contract itself that this executive board will meet on the third Wednesday in March. So our next meeting is March 16th. There again, it is considered our annual meeting, and we will still be working on the bylaws in an effort to get up and running. So that is my report.
Sounds like you're getting going. Thank you. Okay. So, a busy council. Great. Moving on to department heads. And David is not here, so Chief Slutter.
Very good. We have this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we're doing an incident safety officer class for our officers, and all the fire officers in Fulton County are invited to that. The civil service test for the fire department is on the 27th of February. And we completed all of our required NFPA firefighter physicals last week on Wednesday and Thursday for our entire department. And the county fire supper that you're all invited to is tomorrow night, so don't forget that at Founders Hall.
5:30?
5:45.
5:40. I would have been early.
That's all I had.
Thank you. Chief Torben.
In front of you, I distributed a couple of color copies of changes that we're going to make in the police department. Our sesquicentennial is actually coming up in 2020, and we've been talking for the last couple of years about incorporating more, well, sesquicentennial for the police department.
Okay.
In 2020.
Thank you.
Sorry. But incorporating more community spirit into the police department. We look to the schools to assist us in designing a new design for the car. I want to thank Mike Colin, the high school art teacher, for taking on this project. And he put the actual Wauseon Indian on our car, along with incorporating the design that we currently have and just changing the color scheme a little bit. Also, the other one is our patch that will be changing as well to incorporate the Wauseon Schools Indian into our logo, and just changing it just a little bit.
Did he design the patch too?
Well, he gave us the Indian head, and then Sergeant Gonzalez actually came up with the patch.
I really like it.
And on the agenda, we have a couple of grants coming up. Just to give you an update, the drug use prevention grant is for $1,635. That pays for Patrolman McDonough, our SRO, to do drug safety talks within the school district. Anytime he's doing a drug safety talk or a presentation, it will cover his wages and fringe benefits during that time. It's one way that we've come up with offsetting the cost of having an SRO in the schools. Secondly, the JAG LE grant will replace several of our laptops, which get outdated very rapidly. We're on about a 4 to 5 year cycle. Fortunately, with this grant, we've been able to replace them with only a 10% match for the last 10 years. So this will give us about $10,000 to replace 6 laptops. That's it.
Great, thank you. And Tom's not here, he was under the weather today, so we'll move on to Dennis.
Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather today too, but I'm here.
Thank you.
Working on year-end reports out at the water treatment plant. We're in the process of awarding the contract to paint the east clarifier to A1 Industrial Painters of Campbell, Ohio. The water reclamation plant, we continue to work on the biosolids study. There'll be a contingent of us traveling to City of Monroe, I believe, this Wednesday to look at some screw presses. This is real exciting stuff. It's squeezing the water out of sludge to thicken it. One of the options we're looking at.
Should our council president attend that, Dennis?
I'd have to take you along, sir.
The Linfoot Street project is moving right along. All of the main lines underneath the road have been installed, and the contractor is now going back to the deepest one of those, which is the sanitary sewer, and beginning to run the laterals out to the homes and businesses along the route. After that, they'll jump to the storm sewer laterals and then the water main, tying the new one in. On water mains, I think we're up to 11 or 12 main breaks this winter season. Hopefully we're on the downside of that. Have been working with an engineering firm who is working on a development for the northwest corner of the intersection of Shoup and 8th Airport Highway, northeast quadrant of that intersection. Petition has been filed for annexation as well. So we just let them know where all of our existing infrastructure is and where they have to come to tie into it. Also working with the Fulton County Economic Development Committee, Matt Gilroy, to evaluate the Wauseon Industrial Park. This is part of a grant that the Ohio Department of Development, that's not their name this year, but that's what they've always been known as to me. They're actually hiring site consultants to look at different spots all around the state to try to make them more marketable. What's desirable about your site, what is not. Maybe some things we could do to put ourselves in a better position. As was mentioned in the Park Board report, Dave Murray did meet with the engineers for the new pool project, outlined where all of our infrastructure is for that, and showed them the demolition and what might go on inside of the pool house and all around the facility. So I think there's another meeting scheduled with him between those two, Dave and Mr. Turo. So busy. He wanted to come back sometime within the next week or two to, actually wants to go up on the roof of the pool house and see what exists there, and so they can design their new roof for it.
Good. Okay. Thank you, Dad. Jamie?
Well, I was pretty busy a week and a half ago receiving bond bids for the pool. We received our low bid from Huntington Bank at 1.85%. We'll be receiving funds this Friday. So we're ready to construct financially. I also provided you the income tax figures for January, which are looking a lot higher than they were last year already.
Just continue to amaze me, Jamie. We never saw these kind of numbers in January.
And to help with that, I have emailed the January month-end statement to you, as well as the bills for this council meeting. So also saving money as well as bringing in more. Love it.
Thank you. And Tom got stuck in Toledo tonight, so we have Kevin here. Do you have anything to bring us?
Well, he just stated that he is working on several different projects in various departments, and in particular, he's working on the year-end report, or the annual report for the mayor. He expects to have that completed this week, and the deadline is February 23, so he's in good shape there.
Yes.
That's all we have.
Everybody else, thank you. Okay. All righty. Let's move on to the first reading of legislation. Okay. Resolution 2016-3, authorizing the mayor to enter into an amendment to the Maumee Valley East CHIP Consortium Partnership Agreement and declaring an emergency.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and declare an emergency on Resolution 2016-3.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Shamp. Is there any discussion? Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final passage.
Second.
Motion moved by Council President Sturts and second by Counselor Coast. Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, Resolution 2016-3 passes on emergency and is now in effect.
Thank you. Second reading of legislation, ordinance 2016-4, amending section 147.08 of the codified ordinance of the city of Wauseon to declare an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Council President Sturts and second by Counselor Fry. Is there any discussion? Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final passage.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Shamp and second by Counselor Coast. Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, ordinance 2016-4 passes on emergency and is now in effect.
Thank you. Nothing under third reading. Under new business, we have a motion. We need to accept the JAG LE grant.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Shamp and second by Counselor Coast. Is there any discussion? Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
And we also need a motion to accept the drug use prevention grant.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Counselor Coast and second by Council President Sturts. Is there any discussion? Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Thank you. Can we have a motion to approve the bills, please?
Motion to approve the bill.
Second.
Okay.
They made me.
I can tell.
Motion moved by Counselor Sturts and second by Counselor Shamp for approval of the bills. Counselor Sturts?
Yes.
Counselor Shamp?
Yes.
Counselor Fry?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Council President Sturts?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Motion for adjournment, please.
Moved.
Second.
Yes, speak up, get your name to me.
I know. I'm gonna try to see if I can do it before you
Motion moved by Counselor Shamp and second by Counselor Coast for adjournment. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Then that.